Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome back to Save Money Saves You, where we save our money so our money can save us and we have fun along the way. I am Kendra, and joining me are our channel mascots, Anthony and Franklin, and they are here to remind us that slow and steady still wins the race when it comes to saving your money and building your savings. It is not a race to the finish line. It is all about building those sustainable habits that will get you to your goals. And so, speaking of goals, in today's video, it's going to be different. I'm not saving anything, stuffing, but I wanted to take the time to go back and actually do what I should have done end of December, beginning of January, which is share with you guys what the goals we have for this year, for 2026. And for those of you who followed me in 2025, to kind of close out the 2025 year with where our goals ended up. So if you were here following me in 2025, I was a part of the Financial Goals Hop. And what that was a collaboration between about 25 or 26 channels. And what we were doing is every quarter we would share our quarterly goals. And you can see these are the sheets here. The sheets were created by Donna, powered by creativity. And the collaboration was the brainchild of Miss Donna over at Donna Powered by Creativity, Andra, the traveling and savings chief, and budget with Mama Bear. And so for every day of the month at the end of the quarter, what we would each do is share our goals, overall goals for 25, share our goals for quarter one, quarter two, quarter three, and quarter four. And the one video that we did not get to do for 2025 was the quarter four. And so I just want to quickly go through what our goals were for quarter four 2025 and then roll into what our goals are for 2026. So why is this important? When it comes to getting organized and taking over your finance, taking control of your finances, it is imperative that you have a plan. You got to know where you're going when it comes to your money. Why are you saving? Why are you trying to even get your money in order? Like, what is the goal? If you're just out here, what I call kind of flying in the wind, then you're not really aiming towards anything, then you're just going to be all over the place. And when it comes to money, it needs to be order, it needs to be structured, and you need to have goals so you know where you're going and you have a strategic path to get there. Now, you have some people that'll just say, oh, I'm just going to save my money just to save it. That's fine, but at some point, why? Like, why are you saving? What is your goal? Do you have something you're trying to purchase? Do you have something you're trying to save for retirement, home, car, something? And it's just, it allows you to be laser focused and get even more organized when you have a plan in place. And so before the Financial Goals Hop, I actually was not doing this. And so I'm thankful to Miss Donna for reaching out to me, asking if I would be a part of it, because I'm going to be honest, before 2025, I mean, other than if we needed to save money for something, I said, okay, we're going to save X amount of dollars. But I never sat down with my husband at the end of the year and said, what do we want to do for the next year? And so having been a part of this Financial Goals Hop, it has really helped me and my husband really narrow down those goals and things that we want to do. And we've even taken it a step further, as you're going to see. We do more than just talk about financial goals. We literally talk about what are the entire goals that we would love to strive for and aim for in 2026. And sometimes you hit them, sometimes you don't. But you know what? They're on the radar, and we're going to keep going till we get them, whether it be 27 or what have you. We're going to still go. So really quick, for 2024 quarter four in October, the plan was to, now mind you, I did this in quarter three. And so of course, quarter three being July, August, and September, had no clue what was on the horizon. No clue, had no inkling that we were going to be losing my mother-in-law at the end of quarter three in September. So of course, losing her in 2025 in September literally blew all of this out the water, because we had to drain every dollar, dime, penny, nickel to take care of her final wishes, because she did not have active life insurance policies. So all of this, it didn't happen. It didn't happen. But we had a plan. We were going to zero out all of our accounts at the end of the month, and that's a strategy that I use to try to help boost our savings. And so whatever we have left over at the end of the month before the next pay cycle, I would take it all out, put it in savings, and that just helped us build our savings faster. The goal was to catch up on overdue bills, because of course we had some things that were overdue due to just changes in income and things being reduced and income being dropping. So we're going to catch up on that. I was working to increase my income and apply for jobs, and that was pretty much the same for October, November, and December. So did we hit that? Absolutely not. Went right into 2026 still on the struggle bus, as we call it. Or for those of you who have heard the term, still robbing Peter to pay Paul. It just, yeah, it is what it is. So those of you who followed my quarterly my quarterly goals for 2025, these are the last ones for quarter four. We did not hit them at all, but the plan was we had a plan, and so we're going to continue that in 2025. So these sheets were created by Miss Donna, and I believe she sells these. They're not dated or anything, so you could use these at any time. So if you're interested in starting making quarterly goals, starting to make quarterly goals, you can find this sheet on her website. I will make sure I link it down in the description below. And so this was our 2025 quarterly goal sheet. I believe this is created by Budgets with Mom. I mean, not budgets. Yeah, Budget with Mama Bear. I think she made this sheet, so I will link her channel also. And then before I jump into 2026 goals, I wanted to share the SMART Goal Planner that Miss Andra made. And so if you're not familiar with SMART Goals, so SMART Goals are basically a way to make sure that the goal that you're setting is one that you can actually reach. So SMART stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. So basically you want to be specific with your goal. What specifically are you saying? Like instead of saying, oh, I want to save money. That's a goal, but it's not a SMART goal. A SMART goal would be, I want to fully fund all of my short-term sinking funds. Very specific, and you named it out. You're not just throwing something at the wall, seeing what'll stick. You are strategic and diligent and specific in what you want to save for or what you want your goal to be. So that's specific. Measurable. How are you going to track your progress? You've got to be able to track your progress along the way so that you know how close you are to hitting your goal. If it's not a goal that you can measure, then it's not a SMART goal. And now, SMART again is not saying somebody's dumb. It's just SMART goals is the acronym for a very good way to establish and set up a goal. So when I say SMART goal, no, I'm not throwing shade at people. No, I'm not calling anybody dumb. That is just the acronym for a very, very helpful way to create your goals. So if it's measurable, you have to be able to track it. And so and this is actually still going to be the case for 2026, which is why I'm showing you this. The goal is to still fully fund all of our sinking funds short term. And so we're going to keep them in our sinking fund binder, which was my pink binder. I should have brought it. I don't know what I was thinking. Actually, let me go grab that. Hold on, guys. Okay, I should have been better prepared. I apologize. So this is my short-term sinking fund binder, and to up the stairs, up and down the stairs, do it. To measure the progress, I put the different categories in here that we're going to be working towards. And so this is the binder that'll help me keep track of those short-term sinking fund goals. Now at the time in 2025, the goal was to save $50 each month. That's going to be different. I do need to actually figure out how much we'll be able to save or just not put an amount on it at all. It's good to have that dollar amount, but with everything going on and the uncertainty month to month, it's just very difficult for me to put a time frame on that. Is the goal attainable? Can you evaluate the feasibility? So it's nice if you say, oh, I have a goal of making $1 million by the end of the year. Okay, can you realistically achieve that? And so if you can't, then that's not a goal that you should be aiming for. What you could do instead is say, I'm going to increase my income by $1,000 by the end of the month. See, that is something you can attain. So as long as we consistently save each month, I believe that we can achieve this. And that is the case. We have to be able to say we can realistically reach this particular goal. And then R is relevant. How is it beneficial to your life? Basically, you want to look at, is this something that is even that you're going to benefit from, because you want to make sure. And so for us, it's going to help us keep from taking out loans, because good Lord, them payday loans, Klarna Afterpay, which, listen, I'm no shade at Klarna and Afterpay, okay? They have come in clutch. It's even the Cash App loan now. This is not an endorsement. I'm not encouraging it. But what I am saying is I'm thankful in those moments when we need it. That stuff's there. My goal for us is to not have to rely on that, because at the end of the day, all of it is still debt. At the end of the day, it takes money out of the house. And I'm trying to get us to where we can keep as much of our income as we possibly can. So again, no shade to buy now, pay laters and the afterpays and the Klarnas and the Cash Apps and all of that. Because look, it's coming in handy when we need it. Okay, no shade at all. And then, is the goal time bound? When do you want to be finished? So you want to put an end goal on your goal, or end date. There needs to be a point of time in the future where your goal is to try, where you want to try to hit this goal. And so for us, it was going to be December 31st, 2025. This will now be December 31st, 2026, because this is still an active goal that we have every year. I want to fully fund all of the sinking funds in that short-term binder. Okay, so that is SMART goals. And then it says, did you meet it? No, we did not. And I pretty much explained why earlier. Losing my mother-in-law has pretty much just thrown everything into pure chaos. Same thing with our another goal we had is to hit our $1,000 emergency fund. At the time in 2025, at the beginning of the year, we were looking to be on track to do so. And if things wouldn't have played out the way they were, we would have hit this by December 31st. Again, $1,000 emergency fund. It was going to be in this binder, which is still the case. So this is still a goal for 2026. This is my road to 1,000 binder. I have shown it on the channel before, and so each of these are increments of $100. And so the goal is to get this full, and then that'll be our $1,000 starter emergency fund. Yes, I know $1,000 is not enough to take care of certain bills and unexpected emergencies, but it's $1,000 more than we would have had before. So trying to get to that point. Yes, it's doable. It'll give us security. So again, the goal for this year, I want to say December 31st at 26, but realistically, because so many things are up in the air, this may actually go into 27. So I'll probably put a goal of like June 2027 on this one, just to give us an opportunity to meet it. If we hit it before that, that is absolutely amazing. If not, no worries. We'll still get there. So these are my two SMART goals for us: $1,000 emergency fund and fully funding all of our short-term sinking funds. And now on to 2026. I normally don't do a lot of goals. You see, there's personal, professional, financial, priority. But I was like, well, I'm encouraged. I got some motivation to start writing out some other goals. So that's what I did. So let's start with financial, because this is what the channel's about, right? Y'all not interested in what my personal goals are, unless you are. But for financial, the goal is to catch up on these bills, honey. Oh, these bills are billing, life is lifing, and we are trying to get ourselves back on track. That is always going to be our financial goal. Catch up on these bills. We've made some progress in some areas, still got ways to go in others, but that is what we are doing. Start saving, which we have done. And as you guys can see, I always tell you that even the smallest amount saving is something. And so you will see me save quarters, nickels, dimes, because all of that is going towards saving. It's something. And so we did start saving, and increasing the income is still not happening. So I'll graduate here, oh my God, in 2 weeks, y'all. I have 2 weeks to go before I'm done with school, and then it is on to the next journey. So trying to figure out the best path forward right now. We've got some challenges with our youngest son, and so my concern is taking a full-time job that'll take me out of the home, where I can't pull away and go to his school at the drop of a hat when I need to. So my husband and I are really in conversation right now on what is the best path forward. I feel like if I don't at least try to see what's out there in the workforce, because right now, yes, I know the job market is absolute trash. It is very, very difficult for anybody to find a job, let alone a fresh college graduate. I get it. And then the fact that I'm older does not help. I know what is up against me, but here's what I also know. I also know that at the end of the day, God has my back, and what God orders and puts in place is going to happen. So if it's a door that God has designed to open for me, it's gonna open. And it don't even matter what everything look like. If God says it is done, okay? And I'm just gonna say that. So knowing that I would feel absolutely terrible if all of this sacrifice was for nothing, um, I'm really, really not taking the decision lightly on what next steps should be. Now, we do have a career fair at school on Thursday. I am going. I am going to put my resume out there because, again, I'm not a fool. I'm going. I'm going to still put my stuff out there. But I really, really have to sit down, and me and my husband, and as a family, we really need to decide what's the next step. Because for me, what good is it, or what was the benefit of me going through all of this for school if my baby loses his way? You know what I'm saying? Like, we're trying to get him across the stage. He is a junior and he has been having a very hard time with school. And so, why did I do all of this if my child ends up not being able to graduate? You know, like that, to me, it's not worth it. My child comes first. He is more important than any job that I'm trying to get. So, that is a very tough decision right now on what to do. Not because it's a matter of, is my child important? No, he is. It's just, what is the best path to make sure that the family stays afloat financially while we're making sure that we are there to support him to get him across the stage. So with that being said, that leads me into professional goals. And so I've shared a few times before that I did get my life insurance license. And for me, that is because so many people, especially those of us in the Black community, do not have life insurance. And I say that because a lot of the people that I have talked to and dealt with in the circle of financial literacy have been primarily Black. And a lot of them have no life insurance and don't see the benefit, don't see the point, look at it as just another bill. And so I wanted to eliminate the excuse of, I don't know what to do, I don't know where to go. And that is why I got my license. Um, it was to supplement my financial literacy business that I started in 2025, which, yes, I also am a financial literacy instructor. And so it was kind of like this all encompassing thing that I had the idea of. So, because to me, it's like, I can't teach you about your money if I then don't also teach you how to protect it and set up things for future generations on the back end. And I say that to say, you don't have to be wealthy, but if you leave this earth and you leave your family riddled in debt, hello, current situation. I know, yeah, hey, here's what it is. When you leave that debt and that strain on your family, you know what I'm saying? Like, these are people that you love. So I don't want that to be the case. And I want to make sure that I have the opportunity to help anybody that wants that. So with the life insurance business, that is an option that I have, is to fully jump in, go all in lieu of getting a full-time job, because at least that way I will be available when my son needs, and I can go at the drop of a hat. So that is something that I'm looking at, and I'm passionate about it. So there's some things that I have to start doing, and I'm gonna be real transparent, y'all. I have been struggling because I'm the kind of person that likes to know what I'm doing, have all my T's and I's dotted and crossed. And to say that there's a huge learning curve when it comes to life insurance on the business side, it is an understatement. And I have been terrified, okay? I'm just gonna put it out there. I have been a big old chicken. You see my feathers, the cluck cluck beak feathers, all of that. And it has taken me quite a while to, like, what the heck are you, like, what is it that is holding me back? And I was really, really talking with my husband and really looking at it like, what is the issue? And I am someone who has always had it together, who has always at least been able to fake the funk if need be when I don't have it together, poker face, the whole nine. And this is just not something you can do that with. You have to get in there and you have to do it. And there's so much stuff you have to learn, so much stuff on the back end that you have to, figure out. And so I've always been like, well, let me just try to figure it out before I get out there. And that's just not how this works. You have to get out there and you figure it out as you go. That is just not something that I have always been comfortable with. So that has been a struggle for me. So one of my goals is to, girl, pick up that doggone phone, put myself out here, reach out to people, let people know that this is something that I do, and no, it is not this whole money grab. It is genuinely trying to help. I have a genuine heart to help other families make sure that they do not find themselves in the situation that we're in. To have to bury someone that has no money to make that happen is an absolute financial strain on the family that's left behind. And I do not want that for people. Now, some people are like, well, everybody don't need it. Well, that's true. If you got money, $3,000-4,000 that can cover cremation or a quick burial, or you have a pre-burial plan that you've already set up, that's cool. But for those that don't, that's what this is for. I'm gonna get off that soapbox because I'll be here all day talking about that one. So I'm also working on a certification for financial literacy. No, I don't have to. You don't have to have, like, there's no industry standard that says you have to go get certified to teach. But for me, it is adding credibility, and it shows that I'm willing to invest in myself so that I can be the best instructor that I can be. And so I need to finish that course. I've been trying to juggle that and my classes, and it has not been going so well because the classes have taken so much time. So my goal for this year is to finish that course so I can be done. Now, I do have a time limit on this one. I want to be done before I walk across the stage in June. That way I can come out of there and say, hey, I'm a certified instructor and this is what I'm doing. So that, and graduation. So graduation is in June. I am done in March, but I will be coming back to graduate because, hello, why not? Struggle was real. I want to walk across that stage like everybody else. Okay. So I will be doing that. And you guys will definitely see photos. Finally, you'll get to see my family and me because, baby, that's going to be all over social media. Me talking about walking across that stage. Absolutely. We'll be there June of 2026. And one of my goals is to make the honor society for the business school, which sadly, it may not happen because I've only got 2 weeks left. And I had a very bad quarter in 2000. I think it was the winter of 24. That was when my mother-in-law was really, really bad. I was missing classes. We was having to take her back and forth to ER. It was just a lot going on. And I barely passed that quarter, okay? And so because I barely passed that quarter, when I tell you my GPA tanked, like gutter, tanked, like dropped me to below a 3. And for the business school, if any of you have any kind of business school, engineering, anything like that, the GPA is gold. Okay. And so I have been fighting every quarter since then to bring it back up. I could not retake the classes because I'm on such a tight window, especially with financial aid before I max out, that I had no room to go ahead and go back and take them. So I just had to eat that low GPA. And I mean, before that quarter, I had like a 3.8. That sucker dropped me down to like a 3.2, 3.1. And then for that quarter, I got like a 2.6. Just so I was calculating, looking at it, and even if I make straight A's this quarter, I will still miss the honor society. Yeah. Didn't I realize that overachieving student from high school is still in there. She's pretty hurt about that because I wanted that, but it's okay. It's okay. The goal is to graduate, right? It's okay. It's okay. Got it. Okay, cool. So on to the personal goals. I and my husband are really trying to get started on a weight loss journey to be healthier. Now we've got younger kids, and I want to make sure that we have a long life, so healthy life. And going through this experience with my mother-in-law has really been eye-opening to what life is like on the other side with the healthcare system when you are not healthy. In addition to her, we still have my father who is still trying to recover from the stroke that he had and the cardiac arrest that he had. And so still dealing with all of that. So that definitely, those two experiences definitely put good health into perspective. And so my husband and I are really, really trying to be intentional this year about making sure that we get ourselves healthy, because being caregivers, we've put ourselves on the back burner, and we've been caregivers for 10 years. Yeah, 10 years in December. And it's just, that's one thing about being a caregiver is you lose sight of yourself because you're so focused on the patient. And now that she's gone, we're realizing, crap, we are not okay. We are not healthy physically. We're not healthy mentally. And so this is a year where we're going to do our very best to turn all that around. And so that's one of our goals. I don't know about a birthday trip anniversary. It's coming up too fast. So we'll see. But these are some of my 2026 goals. It's not everything, but just some of the ones that we came up with when we were talking. And then one of the quotes that I'm going to be keeping up with this year is, I can do hard things. That is a very, very popular saying that we have in our life insurance agency, because this stuff's hard, y'all. Life is hard. Life is life. And especially right now, 2026. And it is just hard out here. Okay. And so I can do hard things. You can do hard things. We can do hard things. And we get through it. By the grace of God, we get through it. Okay. So those are our goals for 2026. Thank you for hanging in here with me. Not a very exciting video today, I know, but I still wanted to make sure that I finish out the year and pay homage to what we were doing in 25 and just close out the year and then bring you guys into 2026 with me. So thank you for hanging in here with me. I appreciate you all. And for those of you who comment, subscribe, welcome to the new subscribers. I appreciate all of you and your support. And always, as I always say, remember to keep saving your money, everybody, because your money will always save you. Anthony and Franklin, tell everybody bye bye. All right, everybody, say bye bye.